Hello everyone. In this video tutorial, we'll see what a printf and what a scanf functions are. In this section, we'll be discussing little bit details about how printf and scanf functions work. So, as you know that like our human body's input and output, these functions are used for an input and output for the computers. If you want to take an input, you use scanf, right? If you want to take an input from the user through the keyboard, you use scanf function. And if you want to display something to the computer screen, then you use printf function in C. So that is why these functions are declared into stdio.h header file, and if you remember, we have to include that stdio.h program to use this function into our program. So here are the things that a general form of printf function is the printf is used something like this. So in the closing quotes, we have to define the format string and then the list of variables to print the value of that particular variable. So what are the format strings available? So %f is one for printing floating point values or the real values which has a decimal value. %d is for printing the integer value which are of data type int. %c is for printing character values which is for character data type. %s for printing string values. We'll discuss strings later. Now another format type is you can define how many characters wide your output will be. So if you define something like %6d, then it will be at least 6 characters wide. Similarly, if you have to use if you have to print only 2 characters after the decimal point, then you put something like %.2f and %6.2f. It prints like floating point values at least 6 character wide and 2 characters after decimal point. Now here are some examples that is a valid printf functions. One is the printf %f then comma then si. So what does it mean is the si, this value will be printed. Whatever the value in si variable has, it will be printed. Now another is %d, okay, %d, %f. So see, we are printing actually 4 variables value over here, and then we are writing something like p, n, r, si. What does it mean is the first %d will print the value of p, the second %d will print the value of n, the third %f will print the value of r, and the last %f will the value of si. So remember one thing, based on the data type, your printing format is also getting changed. So here p and n are integer data type, so that's why it's %d and %d, but r and si are floating point variable, so it will be having %f and %f. Okay, and another form of thing is we can write something meaningful and then the value of the variable. So in output, if you want to print something like simple interest is rupees, then whatever the value of that variable si is holding. Another way of printing is you can write something like prin is equal to %d, then /n, then rate is equal to %f, then this p, this %d gets printed the value of p. So and then this %f gets the value of r. Okay, and remember there is a /n. I'll discuss it just now, but let's assume that p has a value of 1000 and r has a value of 8.5. so the output will look like this. Okay, because value of p, which is 1000, has been given over here, so that is why the print is equal to 1000, and the value of r, which is 8.5, has been given over here, so that is why the rate is equal to 8.5, but this prints into the new line. Why? Because of the /n. Now you must be thinking about, now you know that what /n is doing in this particular statement. It is doing nothing but putting a new line. So what are these things called? These things are called the escape sequences. Okay, there are multiple escape sequences available. So if you put /n, it will put a new line. If you put /t, it will put a tab. If you put /r, then it will put a carriage return. Then if you put /v, then it will put a vertical tab. If you put // which will actually print one backslash, then /single quote, which will put a single quotation mark, /double quote, which will put actually a double quotation mark, then /question mark will put a question mark. So now we have discussed printf statement. So now we will be discussing scanf. So printf is to put some output. So unlike printf, scanf is used to receive some input from the keyboard. So the general form of the scanf function is, the scanf function is a format string again, and then notice this ampersand sign before the variable. So an example is scanf %d ampersand num. So what does it mean is, you are asking the user to enter a value through keyboard for the variable num. Okay, so if we take this program as an example, simple example, this is a program file that we will be going through, but let's discuss a little bit about it here. So what we are doing here is, we are actually entering a number value into the variable num, right? So for this statement, what is happening here is, for this statement int num, there is a variable, there is a memory block and is assigned over here, and of course and memory location will be there. So let's say the memory location is 65510. Okay, it can be anything, it's just I'm assuming that this is the number. So now in this statement printf, it will print this to the computer output. There is no issue in that. Now I am I'm asking the user to enter a value to this particular location num, and let's say you have entered a value 25. So what will happen in this memory location? The value 25 gets stored, and then the next printf, what I am doing here is, you have just entered the number, then %d, and then entering the value of num. So if you have entered num 25, so this 25 will be put over here. So then you will see the output like you have just entered the number 25. This will be the output. So what is the ampersand over here is doing? This ampersand is called an address of operator, and we will discuss this ampersand operator in details when we will be discussing pointers. But for time being, just remember this ampersand sign is required for scanning a value, to get a value from keyboard, from the user. Okay, so whenever you use scanf, you use ampersand num or ampersand sign before the variable name. Ampersand is nothing but the address of operator, which we'll discuss in the pointer chapter. Okay, thank you for watching this video.